Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everybody. Can I have your attention? Good evening, good evening. Does anybody know where Marty Pastura is? Marty, where are you? Where is he? Where is he? There he is. I didn't even get a chance to come say what's up to you, man. How you doing? So, good evening to everyone here. My name is Ira Kedley, and I have the privilege of standing in one of my most favorite places here in the city of Fort Wayne to celebrate one of my most favorite people in the entire world, Marty Pastura. Yeah, give him a round of applause. And on behalf of the board of directors of the YMCA of Greater Fort Wayne, we just want to say thank you. Thank you to each and every person for coming out tonight, for taking time away from your family, for taking time away from those you love to be here with us today. We just want to show our gratitude to this awesome human being, and this is really not a send-off, but it's more of a celebration and a time for us to embrace Marty's next season of life, a time for us to encourage him and empower him to do the next season of life that we know God has called him to do. Rarely do we get the opportunity to really say thank you to a human being like Marty. Typically we stand and we talk about an individual like Marty at a funeral or at a memorial, and rarely do we get these moments to really say thank you and to show our gratitude to an individual who's been a pillar in our community. I met Marty at a trails ceremony. He's a part of the Fort Wayne Trails Board, and there was a trail dedication, and right up the street there was, I believe, a 14-year-old young man that was killed the day before, and Marty and I talked about that, and instantly we saw that we had a lot of similarities: the passion for the community, the passion for youth, and really a desire to make a difference in the community. And also we were born in October, which is a big deal to both of us. But immediately I saw a man that I just clicked with for some reason. I saw his transparency, I saw his leadership, and I saw the courage it took to really lead in this community, and I wanted to get to know him. And after I realized all that Marty has done in our community, I started to admire him, and he started to become a great friend of mine. Marty and I drove to Indianapolis on several occasions, and from Fort Wayne to the governor's office, Fort Wayne to the east side of Indianapolis to take a tour in an apartment complex that was one of the worst places that we ever walked through. And so many times I just looked over at him and I just said, I really admire this guy. And I still do to this day, just admire and really appreciate, and I've grown to love Marty. So we're just grateful for all of the time that Marty has given to our community, grateful that he's been a pillar that has held up the ceiling of Fort Wayne. And so many of you are close to retirement, so many of you are thinking about retirement, and you're looking at Marty and you're wondering, I wonder what he's gonna do next. And you're hoping that he'll have a wonderful send-off. Well, I'm a little bit more selfish than you guys, and I'm just wondering, what is Marty gonna do for me, right? To help me and Ira Kedley. So do not ask him to do any fundraising. Don't ask him to do anything for you. He signed a pretty strict contract with me to work with us. So YMCA has a C, and that C stands for Christian. And before we kick this night off, we want to pray. And I'm going to pray for us, and we're going to spend the rest of our night honoring this great man. So if you wouldn't mind, bow your heads. Father, we thank you. We thank you so much for this great man that you've chosen to lead this YMCA organization to success. We thank you for allowing him to lead at the capacity, and we're so grateful that Marty Pastura has taken the position that he's in, the privilege that he's had to help so many others. We thank you for his courageous and selfless leadership. We thank you for so many people that have followed him, the people that believe in him, and of course a community in the city that has trusted him to do so much. And tonight we celebrate so many years We appreciate his family and his wife for allowing him to lead at this capacity. And we open up our eyes to look at Marty's heart and to see who he truly has been for all of these years, a person who has followed the calling that you've placed on his life. Thank you for allowing him to lead, and we thank Marty for being obedient. We have all benefited from it, and we just say thank you. Amen. We want to watch a quick video that will highlight more of who Marty is, and again, take the time to tell Marty how much you appreciate him. Thank you very much.
Marty is really fierce about how he leads, and he's strong and passionate. And so those are some things that help me be a better leader. He shows me how to care for people in addition to being passionate about what we do at the YMCA.
The thing that has inspired me the most about Marty is how he defines being a Christian. It's not about religion, it's not about politics. It really is just loving, serving, and caring.
And I think of the very first few days that I worked here, we opened the Renaissance Point YMCA, and Marty was down there cleaning the floors, sweeping the floors. And it inspired me because I felt like this was a leader that was willing to do the work in addition to asking us to do the work, and I'd never seen that out of somebody before.
Well, it's definitely not been his golf game that's been much of an inspiration to me. Frankly, he could use a lot of work, and I'm hoping some of the extra time that he has, he can devote to getting a little bit better. But to be honest, Marty really is an inspiration. He loves the Y, he lives the Y and its mission, and his credo of late has been, we're here to love each other and to help each other. And that's really something that is obvious that he takes to heart.
We were at this YMCA in Arequipa, and his project was to paint the wall of the outside of the YMCA, and we didn't have anything to mix the paint. So again, I said, Marty, how you will, how will make this happen? And he said, well, we don't have anything else. So he put his shirt up, and he just put his hand and started mixing the paint.
One of my favorite stories is I was out to lunch with Marty and Chris one afternoon. We were sitting outside, and Marty had gone to the restroom, and Chris and I got into a pretty loud argument. And Marty came back from the restroom and said, "This is awesome. I love this." And he was just so happy that we were passionate like he gets sometimes. And as we walked out to the parking lot, he put his arm around us and he said, "I just love that we can argue and disagree about things, and we leave together as friends."
Working with him would have us traveling to Indianapolis for various meetings. Inevitably somebody would say something that Marty didn't like, or would take a position that he may not have been a fan of. And the ride home, yeah.
Well, you probably know that when Marty gets really stressed, he heads for donuts or fried chicken, which is always, those would be some of the jokes. It'd be a frustrating day about something, and Marty, have you gone for a donut? And he's like, yeah, I already ate one in the car.
Treating people as more than just things. The idea is that people are more than things. They're more than a means to an end. And sometimes when you think of employees or volunteers and the work that needs to get done, we start treating people as though they're things. And a great reminder he would always say is that, well, there's more to the story than just what we see in their work life, or what we see in their small piece as a volunteer. There's a lot more going on. And we have to make sure we're thinking of people as people and not people as things.
Well, the one thing I think about with Marty was my first interview was like 2 hours long, and it was just a phone interview. And then we could come down to the final pike, and I get the final call, and it was like 8 hours long. And like I was still on the wire with Marty. Like Marty's like, "Dave, I really think you do great, but I just want to make sure." I finally was like, "Marty," I was like, I am here. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready. I'm your man.
I love his stories of when he's been turned down, and then he'll email or he'll call and he'll fight for that, get them to change their mind because of the importance that we have here with the Y and in our community. I love how he always says, you know, we're leading a servant leader, that we are able to love, serve, and care.
He taught me that the world has a lot of gray in it, and to really seek to understand, to make good decisions so that when people walk away, everybody feels good about it.
You know, one of the things I might miss about Marty is I think sometimes he has this delusional spirit that he can still beat me in sports and things. Marty, I'm not going for that, man. You can't beat me in anything athletic. Maybe golf, but I'll be coming for you. So just remember that, Marty. Can't beat me in anything.
You enjoy your retirement more if you were a Cubs fan as opposed to a Reds fan.
You always tell us that you have to do good to do good. And in case there's any doubt, I want you to know that you did good. Thanks.
Thank you. I'm not sure what we're going to do up here, but I don't really like to be on stage with this guy. You know,
That's fair.
I got to tell you, you know what? I told you what today was.
This is not your chance to speak right.
I just want to let everybody know. What do you got there? Oh, I was going to tell you what today was.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell me what today was?
I'm going to tell them what to do.
All right.
But before we do that, hey, how about a round of applause for Mark? So here's why I'm up here with Marty, because if he was left to his own devices, he would talk about everybody else but himself, right? You talk about great programs, you talk about all the help you had. That's really not what tonight's about. Who saw the Business People article a couple weeks ago about Marty? That was a good article. I like that. I did come away with a couple questions though. Can we have the first slide? So one of the pictures that was in the article was a beautiful dinner with you and Melody, me and Laura. And I came away looking at that picture. I mean, I was so happy. You guys were so in love. And I kept thinking, how in the world did you convince this woman to marry you?
Is that the question you're asking?
That's really one of the questions I have. Now, well, if this is not an appropriate story, don't tell it. No. Just say something nice.
The only thing I can say is I never went on a job interview without Melody. Because I got every job I applied for because of her. And that's the God's honest truth.
All right.
That is the truth.
These aren't going to be softballs all the way through, so that was the easy one. Could we have the next picture? I got a lot of questions about this. There's crazy eyes questions, there's mustache questions. What look were you going for overall? Like, what are you trying to say here?
This is my my senior year in college.
Yeah.
And what's wrong with that picture? I think it looks pretty good.
If I saw that person outside my house, I'd call somebody.
Well, yeah, I was a linebacker in football, so I wanted to make sure I looked tough as well as tried to be tough.
Okay.
So maybe that has something to do with it.
Are you threatening me right now? Is that where this
well,
is
later
going?
on, you
okay,
never know.
All right,
you
fair.
never know.
Fair. I think we've got one more photograph.
Yes.
I think that leads into what we're doing. So some of you may not know, there was a proclamation made today from the Allen County Board of Commissioners. Our commissioners made a proclamation. And because you would never say any of these things about yourself, I'm going to read them all. And you're going to have to sit and take it. Are you ready? All right. Whereas Marty Pastura has been with the overall YMCA movement for 40 years, starting out as a physical director for the Y of Van Wert County, Ohio in 1979. Right after that picture was taken. Whereas Marty has been president and CEO of the YMCA of Greater Fort Wayne for 22 years, during which time the local Y has grown from 9,000 to 90,000 members, from 200 employees to 1,500, and from a budget of $4 million to $24 million. Whereas Marty has raised more than $60 million in capital campaign funds and built 6 membership branches during his tenure, making a strong case about the importance of the work that the Y does. Whereas Marty has been recognized many times for creating a culture of love, care, and service to people, using the YMCA mission as a litmus test many times to make decisions. Whereas Marty will remain in a consultant role with the local Y, focusing on raising money for a new endowment called the Youth Development Legacy Fund. And whereas Marty has worked tirelessly, passionately, and unceasingly to improve the quality of life in our corner of the world, not for himself, but because he genuinely loves and cares for people, now therefore the Board of Commissioners of the County of Allen, Indiana, hereby proclaims December 11th, 2019 as Marty Pastura Day.
Thank you. Thank you. Nelson Peters came to my office today. He had another engagement tonight, and he read that to me, and I was so humbled and honored. So, Tom, thank you for doing that. That really, I can't believe it's Marty Pastura Day. That's really hard to believe. But.
So on the way home, if someone got a ticket, could they text you? How does that work?
Yeah, I'll take care of you.
Okay.
I'll take care of you.
All right, that's good. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Angeletta, the COO at the Y, and I have the pleasure to announce a group from our youth program at the Renaissance Point Y who will be doing a performance for us. At the Renaissance Point Y, we have a number of wonderful programs related to career exploration and related experiences that the kids are taking all kinds of opportunities to grow in. This can be, like this program, a music production program. It can be a video production program. They have amazing opportunities. One of Marty's great achievements has been the Hope for Youth initiative. And part of that has been really investing in our teens and youth in new and creative ways. So some of our great youth and teen directors are in the audience today. They've done some amazing work. And in the last 5 years, we've invested almost $2 million in programs and staffing to help young people grow in spirit, mind, and body. So this program is one of those things. So without further ado, the Renaissance Point Youth and their music program.
Habla por bird. Help the victim take off and fly just like a bird. To the dude, hey bro, you stop me with words. Leave him alone, that boy is more than a nerd. You ain't done it all day, you done it all night. Only had you known that you risked the life. What happened to the soul that you used to be? Now you always turning over and bullying me.
You were my fan, but you pushed me to the edge. You got me to my knees, and I'm begging you, please. Leave me alone, just let me be. I see who you are and who you truly be. You say you know how I feel, but you really don't. All the hands that you thought you were tough and nice. I wanted to stop, it hurts. I try to take it, even though I fake it. Can't you see my pain? Speak up for me, I know. Don't be silent, let them all know. Speak up for me, I know. Don't be silent, let them all know. Don't be silent, don't be silent, oh. Don't be silent, we can solve the problem. Set it free, don't let it be. Please don't let it inherit me. Put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up, hey, put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up. More than what you see. Speak up for me, I know. Don't be silent, let them all know. Speak up for me, I know. Don't be silent, let them all know. Don't be silent, don't be silent, don't be silent. We can stop the flow. Habla por desconocido, no si es celestial, que no lo sepan. Habla por desconocido, no si es celestial, déjalo.
Great job. I gotta follow the kids. That doesn't seem fair. Thank you, Graylin, for getting that organized. Those kids did a great job. One more time for them. Good evening, my name is Patrick Kelly. I'm the Senior District Executive Director for the YMCA here in Fort Wayne. It's my pleasure to introduce a video about our adaptive and inclusion programs. It all started with the bike. Marty had a dream that people who use the wheelchair could maybe go on the trails in Fort Wayne with a loved one. So we figured out how to make that program happen. The program has been a great success, and Marty's vision has inspired the rest of us at all of our branches to figure out ways to include people of all abilities at what we do at the YMCA. Today, when you enter one of our YMCAs, you can see people of diverse abilities playing sports, making friends, learning to swim, volunteering, using the trails, doing crafts, inspiring us, and working along with us. We can all take pride in how much we have moved forward in this area. Tonight we're going to celebrate our success, but Marty, we want you to know that we will continue this work. We will keep trying to be more inclusive. We will keep creating more opportunities. We will fight indifference and ignorance, and we'll remember that every person is a miracle, and we can never really be a complete community until all are included. Marty, thank you for leading the way.
Part of the Y's mission is to be for all, and so adaptive services are for those with diverse abilities or special needs. We actually offer inclusive programs and adaptive programs, so obviously anyone can join the Y at any time or any program. But our inclusive programs are designed to be inclusive for those with and without diverse abilities, and then our adaptive programs are specifically targeted for those with diverse abilities.
When we first heard about all the Y adaptive programs, it was, oh my goodness, a whole new world has opened up.
Trail Buddies is a bike program for individuals who either have a diverse ability or who are unable to pedal a bike independently. They have to weigh between 50 and 250 pounds. We have a pedaler who actually rides the specialized duet bike, which was made in the Netherlands. And then we also have a safety who rides a typical bike just to check for, traffic and bumps and things like that. The three of them just set out and check the trails and have a great time. The rides are about 30 to 45 minutes. Our programs are offered in the YMCA of Greater Fort Wayne Association, which covers Allen, Whitley, and Wells County. And so we actually have adaptive programs of some sort or inclusive programs at every single branch. All of them offer adaptive swim lessons, and then some offer, specific other programs as well. They all offer a Bang the Drum class, which is like a group exercise class. Our Bluffton location, they have a program called Dream Team, where it's a great T-ball program during the summer for those with diverse abilities. So it's just really great that each YMCA in our association is a little bit different. They all kind of have their own personality, and so it's great that they're choosing programs that they know would fit their branch.
On all levels, psychologically, emotionally, physically, spiritually, it has just lifted his spirits, and it's given him something to really anticipate and look forward to and enjoy.
The Y's mission is to be for all, and I feel like by providing these programs, we're joining in with a variety of organizations in our community who are doing the same great work of providing programs and events and an inclusive, atmosphere for those with diverse abilities. And we truly believe at the Y that we are stronger and better when we are together.
Well, I'm Tim Schetzer, the YMCA CEO from Canton, Ohio. I wasn't sure how you were going to react when I said Ohio. And I've known Marty for 20 years, and what a great friend, made our Y better. And when I got here, I said, Nicole, marketing, HR, human resource development director, I said, I've driven 3 hours, let me just say 3 things. And she said no. And I went back a little bit later and I said, Nicole, please, just can I say 2 things? Nope, we're on a tight schedule. So I said, how about just one quick story? She said, okay. So thanks, Nicole. Well, Marty, I bring you greetings from all of your YMCA colleagues in Ohio. And I have to tell you, when I got here, I saw Marty's name on the marquee and I said, you gotta be kidding me. So I took a picture of it and I sent it, Marty, to all our colleagues in Ohio. And one of them texted me back a few minutes ago, who knew that all along Marty had movie star looks? So Marty's always been better at everything. His Y is better than our Y. His teen leader programs are better than our programs. He's a better athlete. He did go to a school in Ohio, though. The only thing that I'm better at, Marty, is in golf. So just one quick story here. So we're in North Carolina on a golf trip, and we're recharging our batteries so we can do good work for the Y. And I won a little money from Marty, feeling pretty good about myself. Nice day, sunshine, we're in North Carolina. Marty's driving, and he always had this giant vehicle. And so we're going to lunch to meet some other YMCA guys, and he pulls up to this really small parking spot. And I'm thinking, there is no way he can get his giant vehicle in that little spot. And he turns to me and smiles and says, double or nothing, I can park this first time in that spot. So now he's got me thinking. I'm thinking, this car's too big. Looking at the spot, that spot is too small. There's no way. I thought that was easy money. And of course, wouldn't you know, he parks it perfectly, right then and there, even Steven. So Marty, I want to just, on behalf of all of the YMCA colleagues that you have in Ohio, thank you for all of your work and for lifting us up at our Ys. God bless the Fort Wayne YMCA, continue to do good work. And Marty, God bless you and your family.
Tim, thank you so much, number one, for being here, and number two, letting them know how good of a parker I was. I did get 100% when I took my driving test at 16 for parking, so I knew I could do that. You might know from that story that I'm a very competitive person, and I'm competitive. I hope I was always a good sport. Amos, is Amos still here? Did he go home? Is he still here? Amos, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, who's walking around in crutches today, Amos? That's all I gotta tell you. That's all I gotta tell you. I hope you realize that we have some really, really, really fine people, not only on the staff side, but on the volunteer side. And we just had an executive committee meeting today, and we say things in that committee that are tough. We argue, we debate, we love each other, we care about each other, and we all leave and we're all good. As a matter of fact, Angela Hughes said to me as she got on the elevator, "We still love you." I said, "I still love you," after our debate. But that's what really makes a great association and a great team. And we have genuine people who care genuinely about what we do for our community. And really, that's really our only goal in our YMCA, is to make our community just a little better. I've said that 1,000 times. And our staff, when we talk about things, they are on it. They want to make sure that they do exactly what I want our community to be like and what we should do. It's not because of me, it's because of their heart. And I will give all the credit to them, because again, when you stand up and you've done this for as many years as I have, you need people around you that have the same heart, the same passion, the same care. And yeah, I can honestly say that's been one of the greatest attributes of our YMCA. And you know, Tom read the how do you say that? I can't even say it. Proclamation. And you know, that's all really good stuff, but it's really about the people, and it's about what we do in all those facilities. So it's about loving, serving, and caring. You heard about that, and that's what we do. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for all of you being here, and thank you for this beautiful party. I never in my wildest dreams would ever expect to have something like this, but I thank you so much, and I'm just so thankful to God and for our community and for all the people that we touch their lives and all the people that work for us and volunteer for us. So what I'm going to do starting January 2nd or sometime around that time, I'm very passionate about our kids, and you know, I'm very empathetic. I think there's one thing in life that I've changed a little bit, is to be very empathetic toward, you know, other people and their plight in life. And we've seen over the years some very serious cases when you talk about the kids in our community. And I want to make sure that the YMCA does all they can to make sure every child, every teen, every young adult has an opportunity just like everybody else. And so we've been able to raise a little money and save a little money, so we're starting out with a Youth Development Endowment Fund, where we want to try to raise at some point, or know where that money's coming from, about $10 million so we can kick back into our programs and other programs in our community of other youth serving organizations. So we have about $500,000 to $450,000 to do youth development work in a prevention approach. And we want to make sure we're giving kids opportunity before they hit those roadblocks in life. And so that's where my heart is, and that's what I'm going to be doing as I start what I would consider a new career. So I want to thank you for honoring me this day and through my tenure in the YMCA, and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
My name's Jeff Tainer, and I'm on the board of the YMCA, and so today I'm up here representing the board. As a board, we decided we'd like to give a gift to Marty, and we talked about the various options. We considered a gold watch, and is that what you're supposed to give somebody when they retire? But Marty doesn't seem like a Rolex type of guy. So, no watch at all, huh? Okay. So what we have decided to do is make a gift of $5,000 to the Youth Development Fund, and that's a commitment from the board members of the Metro area. I'd like also to say, in my day job, I'm a CPA, and I deal with a lot of business owners and business leaders. And I've been on the board for about 15 years, and I can truly say that Marty is one of the greatest leaders I've ever worked with in my career. And I'm honored to have served on his board, and I think he's done great things for the YMCA, and I think now he's going to do much more in terms of great things for our community. So I'm very proud of you for doing that, and I think you're going to have great success. Now, just a few items of housekeeping here. First, I want to thank everybody here for coming. I think we had a great turnout. It's been a great party. I hope all of you enjoyed your time here tonight. The band's going to come up here and play again, I think. So the party is actually going to continue to about 7:30. So I welcome you to stay and attend, eat, drink. Make sure you visit the table in the lobby. There's a table set up that has information about what Marty just talked about with the Youth Development Fund. So I encourage you to look at that. There's also a table out there that has some cards if you wish to leave Marty a personal note. And finally, I've been told there's centerpieces on most of the tables. If you'd like to take one, feel free to take one home with you. So thank you for all you've done. Yes, Marty? There's one. Oh, yes, please.
Sorry. You know, when you're up here, I didn't prepare for anything because I didn't even know what the heck I was going to say. But one of the things I forgot to say that I would be very remiss in saying is that in order to be able to do a good job, you got to have great support at home. And my wife, Melody, she's out there somewhere. I told you, I got all my jobs because she came on the interview, and that's the God's honest truth, in my opinion. But my son Gabriel and my daughter Nikki are here too, and my daughter has 2 kids, and Steve, her husband, they're a wonderful couple. But I just wanted to say that. I forgot to say that, and I would have gotten home and think, man, you're an idiot. How come you didn't say that? So I wanted to say that because I told my wife a couple of weeks ago that when I'm up here, it's all about the why. It's all about, you know, what we do. But it's really about, you know, me not having to worry about what's going on at home, because Melody was a great wife, still is, great mother, and that's another reason why we've been able to be successful. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
traveling